Successful NHL expansions, the 1967 NHL expansion. The 1967 NHL expansion was one of the most successful expansions in the NHL, which doubled the league in size from 6 to 12. 6 teams joined the league, including the California Golden Seals, Los Angeles Kings, Minnesota North Stars, Philadelphia Flyers, Pittsburgh Penguins, and St. Louis Blues. This was the largest expansion in professional sports history at the time. In this episode of Successful NHL Expansions, I will be talking in depth about the 1967 NHL Expansion Draft. The lead up to the 1967 NHL expansion was shaped by several key factors that pushed the league to double in size. The NHL was concerned that a competing league might emerge and challenge its dominance, similar to what happened in other sports. Expanding preemptively helped secure new markets before a rival could. The NHL wanted a lucrative US TV contract, and expanding into new cities, especially on the West Coast, was seen as a way to increase national appeal. Several cities lobbied for NHL franchises for years, including Philadelphia, Los Angeles, and Vancouver. While Vancouver was ultimately left out, the league granted franchises to 6 new cities. The owner of the Chicago Blackhawks played a major role in ensuring St. Louis received the franchise, despite the city not having an ownership group ready. Norris owned the St. Louis Arena and wanted to sell it, so he leveraged his influence to make sure the city was included. Each new franchise had to pay a $2 million fee, which was distributed among the existing teams. The expansion marked the end of the original 6 era, which set the stage for NHL's rapid growth the following decades. The 1967 NHL expansion was a landmark moment in hockey history, doubling the league from 6 to 12 teams. The new franchises were the Los Angeles Kings, the Minnesota North Stars, which later became the Dallas Stars, the Oakland Seals, later renamed the California Golden Seals, then merged into the Cleveland Barons, the Philadelphia Flyers, Pittsburgh Penguins, and St. Louis Blues. The 6 new teams initially formed their own division, ensuring that one of them would reach the Stanley Cup final each year. The Flyers and Blues quickly became competitive, with St. Louis reaching the finals each of its first 3 years. The Seals struggled the most, eventually folding after multiple relocations and rebrandings. Meanwhile, the Penguins, Flyers, Kings, and Blues have all won Stanley Cups at least once, with Pittsburgh leading the group with 5 championships. The success of the 1967 NHL expansion teams varied, with some franchises thriving while others struggled. The Philadelphia Flyers, one of the most successful expansion teams, won 2 Stanley Cups in 1974 and 1975, became known for their aggressive Broad Street Bullies style of play. The Pittsburgh Penguins, after early struggles, became a powerhouse, winning 5 Stanley Cups, including back-to-back cups in 91 and 92, a Stanley Cup in 2009, and back-to-back cups in 2016 and 2017. The Los Angeles Kings had ups and downs, but eventually won 2 Stanley Cups in 2012 and 2014, led by stars like Anze Kopitar and Drew Doughty. The St. Louis Blues reached the Stanley Cup Finals in their first 3 seasons, but didn't win a championship until 2019. The Minnesota North Stars had moderate success before relocating to Dallas in 1993, where they became the Dallas Stars and won the Stanley Cup in 1999. The Oakland Seals were the least successful expansion team. They struggled financially and eventually merged into the Cleveland Barons before folding entirely. Overall, the expansion helped grow the NHL's footprint, particularly in the US, and paved the way for future league growth.